I thought to talk about memory issues when you have a brain injury. Some call it post-traumatic amnesia. I'm not sure what it is I got, but it's definitely memory is different. The way it operates, the way it remembers things. At least it last 5 years, it's never. I don't know. I don't feel or think it's the same. It's different, but also after 5 years, every year, with oh gosh, several spells where my brain just kept going into shock. Autonomic nervous system would kick in. When I would get out of that and recover from it, things were different than they were before. And then when it would happen again, things were different again than before. So each time it's like you're waking up out of a coma, uncertain about things. There's just a perception that's different. I don't know. The feelings are sometimes foreign. I don't know what it is. I can't think about it too much. It depresses me. So I just kind of go on with the day, with life, with the routine that I'm trying to keep. And what can you do? You just pray for better days, take supplements, exercise, sleep, lots of sleep. Don't compromise anything. I can't drink alcohol anymore. I'm careful about just anything that'll affect the brain. Just anything, even certain foods I stopped eating. I did another video about how some days I wake up and I'm struggling with my identity as a priest, and I literally have to take time in the day to really examine my life, examine my vocation. It's something I never had to do or worry about before, but it's like if I don't really look around and remind myself of who I am as a priest, that I pray, that I have a Bible, a rosary, I have clerics. You sometimes question things. I don't know. It's never the same, so you never really know what you're experiencing until later. And after learning about some of these things, and after I reflect on the last 4 or 5 years of just the mental struggles, the many memory issues, and your identity in them, your memory, or identity in your person is just different. You feel different. You feel like you're an alien in your own body. That was that didn't go away for until 3 years in. So all through 21 and 22, things were weird. It's like deja vu times 10. It's like that movie 50 First Dates. It's not that bad, but you just, some days you wake up and you're just so confused that your life is what it is. You just can't do things as before. You don't have a work schedule. You just following the symptoms, managing your life, trying to stay out of depression. It's crazy. And then the next day it starts all over. You might get a window of days or weeks that it's like you're on, you got things going, you don't have any of these issues, but then all of a sudden, just like that, 1 month, it might be a bad migraine you had 2 months later, and then you feel like you're starting all over. Yeah. You realize, you start to really think you can't be a priest. For me, it was like, can I even be one anymore? I can't even get out, drive, go to, celebrate mass at times because my eyes and my gait and my vision, or the nausea was so bad, or different symptoms would flare up, spine pain, and then you have days of that, and then you have weeks sometimes of it, and then it goes away, and then it comes back months later, and it's just this back and forth, and you're just constantly not sure what to do. Anyways, so doctor says that's little bits of post-traumatic amnesia. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it is or isn't. I just know there's days I struggle with who I am. It's so bizarre. They say it's temporary. You know, you might have memory loss issues. For me, it's like I'm having, like, everything in my past is like, you know, with trauma as a child, all this PTSD stuff, that came back. And now I'm living in it all the time, experiencing the memories and the feelings and the emotions of those traumatic moments all the time. That was really hard pill to swallow, because you were reliving it in your dreams, reliving it in your, you know, things trigger it, like whether it's a movie, some scene in a movie or show, something you read in scripture, something someone said, a picture, a photograph, and then you're instantly taken back there and you're reliving it like the movies. But I hit a wall at 60 miles an hour, and my brain was going 60 miles an hour, and then we stopped instantly, and my brain that was going 60 miles an hour just squished in my cranium with the airbag. Without that airbag, you know, lights out forever. So I got some thoughts about it. I've been thinking about this for a couple days. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, I struggle with that, and I think probably will forever. The last 5 years feel like I'm a different person. I just feel like I'm in another, sometimes it's zombie-like, where you feel in and out. You forget time. You forget who you are. You forget family. You forget friends. When you're in isolation and you're fighting depression and you're on medicine to cope, it's like in and out, in and out. And then you're trying to pray as a priest, and you don't even, you know, I've been 5 years away from ministry, off and on. It took me 6 years to be formed in formation in seminary. Now I feel like I got to start all over. So if you have, you know, some kind of post-traumatic injury, brain injury, you're going to have experiences of, you know, minutes or months or weeks like that, depending on the severity. Normally it heals post-healing, you know, those things go away and subside generally, but not all. There is usually some residual memory issues, and I think that's what I'm experiencing 5 years later. So post-traumatic amnesia, there's two types. One is, you know, is kind of independent, or together, especially massive TBI scenarios, they say, where there's like widespread brain disruption, like serious, it affects memory, recall, formation, and new stuff. I generally can form new memories, but after each spell I have, in particularly the last 5 years, let's say I had a spell of a year, and then after a year, another spell. Then I feel like I'm starting over. Another 18 months, have a spell. I'm starting all over. That has happened 5 times. 5 times in 5 years. It was. So every time when you get out of it, you're literally feeling like you're waking up out of a coma. When I came out of that hyperbaric oxygen treatment, yeah, I was in this weird autonomic stress response for about a year plus. That whole year was like one big dream, one big weird nightmare. Thought everything was over. Thought my vocation was over. I couldn't even talk sometimes. My lisp was so bad, and my struggles with what was going on in the day, because your brain goes to save itself and to, you know, it just like shuts down things. You have no control over it. There's retrograde and anterograde, something. The memories before the accident, I remember very well. I remember who I used to be before the accident. Anything afterwards has been really challenging, just because of all the things one's going through. My memory recall and formation of memories post-accident has been greatly affected. So, like 2 years ago, what was I doing here and there, doing this and that? That's why I've had to journal. I've been journaling like crazy off and on for 5 years. There was a couple stints where I just couldn't. I did not want to journal what I was going through. Then there's the anterograde, and this is the one I think I struggle with. It's, we talked a lot about it with my doctors, but there's just nothing we can do. They listen. I talk about it, and they're like, no, it's something you can do. You can exercise, good health habits and management, sleep, get quality sleep. That's all they say. After the injury, my memories are really funny, sometimes hazy. And then there's windows when I feel like I'm myself, and then it disappears again. So I'm going through one of those right now. Since I got back from Florida, and I've been on a good health kick this summer. At least, then I did my second round of hyperbaric treatment in Madison. So now that was a month ago. Now I'm like really enjoying a good spell of like strength and clarity of my faculties, thoughts, my emotions, everything, behavior. Everything feels right. Everything feels balanced. Everything feels in check. These are things that go wonky when you have a head injury. They go up and down in like waves. So there's going to be highs and lows, and there's nothing you can do about the lows. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You're going to go through it. Can't avoid it. Just like I've written a lot in my notes or my journaling. You're in a boat in the middle of the sea. There's a great storm. There's no light but lightning here and there. It's raining. There's no rudder. There's no sail. There's no... You're just sitting in there spinning around in circles going up and down in the dark. Now that's a pretty dark scenario, but I've been to those places. So yeah, the anterograde is more pronounced in massive head injuries, and so I have cognitive challenges in regards to that. Some say that the amnesia is kind of like a broader spectrum or syndrome of things that has like a little bit of both, but I think my memory, what's weird is I had PTSD before, then the head injury, being autistic, having Asperger's, and all my memories I had before are now more alive than they were before, but all my new memories are like the opposite. Now they're not as vibrant, they're a little bit cloudier. So daily, weekly, at times I've had to really struggle with that. I had Post-it notes everywhere, pieces of paper that said this and that about who I am. I mean, at one point my refrigerator was full from masses and holy hours, just trying to search my identity and reflect on my memories and who I am, and it was just nuts. When the brain goes to those places, it's in survival mode. But you can't do anything about it. It's a miracle I got out of it. Yeah. Basically, the ones that I struggle with are cognitive symptoms, and that is disorientation of time, place, and person. You get confused about things. There's difficulty concentrating or paying attention to certain things. Problems with processing new things. Memory-related symptoms, inability to recall newer things. So in the day, I lose my phone and my keys 10 times a day sometimes. At the worst of it, it was just really difficult. So the short-term memory recall would be so off the wall that I'd put something down, I'd go upstairs, I'm doing this, I'm going back downstairs, I'm starting to eat, I'm doing over this, oh, I forgot my meds, where's my phone? And I'm looking for my phone for about 5 minutes, then I find it, and then where's my keys? Another 5 minutes looking for that. And they're in your pocket. Yeah, those were annoying days. Emotional behavioral symptoms, you do get anxiety and stress. You get agitated with the little things like the keys and the phone, and you're just so frustrated. And you want your life to be back the way it was, and so then you get depressed. They were pretty intense in the beginning, and which is common for brain injury. I've read that's not, and that actually relieved my anxieties. Like, oh, that was normal, or that's expected. So I wasn't out of the, it's a lot better, but there were times when I'm like, when it was so prolonged for a couple years, 2020 to 2022, That in the early 22 is when my swelling finally went down, 18 plus months. That's when things with the memory issues and the emotional, behavioral struggles started to subside. Physical symptoms, lots of migraines, lots of headaches, daily. I gotta watch my dog right now. He's gonna be naughty. Rev. No. Rev. I don't want to clean a muddy dog right now. So he wants to go swimming in that muck. No. There's birds, but not happening, dog. Yeah, physical. Probably one of the biggest symptoms was the physical, not just the migraines and the headaches, but your gait, how your eyes work. I had to do 2 years of eye therapy. That was gross. That would make you want to vomit every time you're done with them. It pushes your brain to rewire your eyes and everything. My eyes still are screwed up, but I manage. They're about 90% the same, but they're still off. So a lot of neck pain. I had serious whiplash, and with that I had crunched up my tonsils in the back of my head, where all that cerebral fluid gets collected and drains out, but all that's crushed, crushed, like a crushed can that can't uncrush itself. Like, you can't make it perfect again. That's kind of what happened. That's where I get the hydrocephalus. So cerebellar tonsillar ectopia is the leading cause of a lot of my health issues. And that's because of all that energy went, with my head hitting the airbag, my brain inside my cranium, but my body, the physical aspects of it all, took all that weight from my whole body. So 200 pounds went crunched into the back of underneath my head, where my axis meets my skull. So I've had a lot of vision and balance issues. Yeah, God bless. And those with amnesia and those with, just hang in there and keep sleeping well and keep exercising. I gotta go. God bless.